focus, and then I went into the software and I just set I just kind of use the defaults, and I don't know if it's really going to cut well or not because I set the work origin at 0, turned on the laser power, material thickness, laser focus. You know, there's a lot more that we have to do, and it's not working automatically, so at least we know that the machine is working. That is what we were trying to see. We know that the 3D print head is bad, but now we've ascertained today that the CNC head and the laser etcher are both working. The machine is responding to the G-code. It is doing the work that it needs to do. We're still having trouble with autofocus and camera connect and those kind of parameter settings, but we're not as worried as we were the other day when we thought that the whole machine was malfunctioning. So it's really about getting a new 3D print head and then continue to experiment, recalibrating every time. But this is promising, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Yeah. You want to give your synopsis or summary of what we've learned?
Yeah, we learned that you have to, we kind of played with the plugs and plugged them back in to make sure that the module X and Y were going in the right direction. And then we learned you have to kind of set up and then use the program to run the coordinates on the laser or the CNC.
Yeah, so that program being the Luban. And you have to connect to Luban. Over here, you go to Wi-Fi. You want to make sure that you've set the same Wi-Fi on the touch screen for the printer as you have with your computer. And I had to use my mobile hotspot because the Rosebud internet isn't working today for some reason. And then you set up your print. And I just did this load G-code to workspace, and then I hit some process, and I guess I turned on the laser power here, and then I set the work origin to 0, and I'm not even sure how did I set run? Do you remember what I hit for run? It was just setting the work origin. Oh, this button here, right up here, yeah, the play button. And now it is slowly doing its work. It's going to be a really teeny box. So I may have made it way too small once again. But as you can see with the SnapMaker connected to the Lubin program, it shows you in blue what it's completed so far. And the CNC does similarly, just like the X-carve that we have. So we're beginning to get there with three-dimensional printing and carving and etching. The X-carve works in a similar fashion over here. It's just a lot bigger. And so this one here does bigger plates and boards. That's the X-carve. So that's for cutting wood, cutting plastic, and cutting aluminum, depending on the bit you use. These are some of the signs that we're carving with zap codes. Then we have the Protocycler, which is for making the 3D print spool, which we have here. And this is currently the grinder is not functioning. So we're in touch with the company about why the grinder is not engaging with the magnetic switch. It's not grinding. So that's a disappointment, but we were able to turn these pellets by pouring them in here. They went through the extruder and they came through there and then out and on the spool. So this is new 3D print filament made from these plastic pellets, and then the idea is to be able to take the garbage and put it back into here and then make new 3D printing filament from all the excess or waste. because there's a lot of scaffolding in here. So a lot of work to do to get things working right. And we will have to continue to experiment, but these are some promising results from today.
It's saying now warning. I clicked reconnect and it's not reconnecting.
She's not responding. Well, it says this there. Let's see if I hit print again. Huh. Still connected to the same network. Warning. Yes, we do want to reconnect. Well, that's deeply disappointing. Are they even talking if I turn it off? Does the laser go on, go off? Well,
Check it now.
I don't know.
It's not seeming to reconnect.
All right, well, that's disconnected. I don't know. I can disconnect here, try to reconnect. Device not recognized. Really? Uh-huh. Now it says connected, but it's not. Oh lordy, okay. Laser height unknown. Okay, disconnect from here. It's disconnected. Let's try to reconnect. It's not supporting it. It's not saying anything here. That's not good. That's something to document. So let's turn it off. And let's turn it back on. I don't even know if it'll know where it picked up, where it left off. Laser is on. Laser's on, Snapmaker's coming on. Like, does it remember? Does it have a memory? All right. Let's see. Local files. Connect. Screen authorization needed. Okay. Press yes. Says it's connected. Needs to go to the home position. Okay, so it's going to the home position.
Is it smoking or is that just the...
That's the laser when it was starting up. It's full power for some reason. And the laser power off, but that doesn't seem to do anything. Let's see what it does. It's returning to home. Returning to home. And now what? We're waiting. Oh, can try to hit play again. See what it does. Something tells me something's wrong. Already. No, maybe not. Ooh-wee, that's bright. Oh, it's starting from the beginning again. Yeah. It's starting from the beginning. Lord knows Maybe when I walked over there, something went wrong. Because it's using the it shouldn't be using the Wi-Fi from my phone. But it might be. These things are known to run a long time. Well, it's so stupid it doesn't know. I'll have to do some reading to see if there's a way to start another part in the program. Maybe I could have erased progressively part of it on the screen and started somewhere else. It's got work coordinates, travel distance, finish time. It's hard to tell. Work speed, power, 6%. So work speed, fine-tune work origin. Find the best place and determine them. There's so much to read in here, right? Tells you what the speed should be, but speed for wood is 80 to 90. Power should be 100% though. I wonder why the power is not at 100%. And like if I start pulling the power up, what does that do? I bring it up all the way to 100. You see it smoking? A lot more powerful. Should I have set that? Should I have not set it at 100%? Because look what it shows here. It says set work speed and power based on the material you're using. If you're using a piece of 1.5 millimeter wood, it's recommended to set the work speed to a value between 80 and 120 millimeters per second and the power to 100%. Right? So there's so much to learn here. But yeah. Because this is laser cutting. This isn't just etching. This is if we want to cut the piece out using a laser instead of a carver. And like break the wood, you know? If you're doing artwork, that's not what you'd use. If you were just making a, a design, you'd set the lower to a laser. Let's set the laser to a lower power setting. And then you'd set this down somewhere else. And then there's this thing here about the work origin. Or maybe this is the cutting. Oh yeah, this is if you want to go deeper. Hey, look at that. That should go deeper in. See where it says under information number 3, those different squares? Set work origin. Choose the position that can cut the material the most smoothly or engrave the thinnest line, and the software will set it as the Z offset. So I don't know which of these we're really working on. There's so many parameters here. You're here to -2. Do you see a difference over there? But I think I'd have to set work origin to do that. I have to click on that button. So maybe this isn't doing anything right now. Nor maybe do I want it to. You know? There's a lot more to learn about this software. For sure. Where's my... Yep. My phone is dying now. Anyway. interesting to see. Oh, lordy. But I think for today, I think we successfully demonstrated it's working. Can you write to the company and tell them that everything seems, that there's still some issues, that everything seems to be checking out, except that the print head isn't recognized? That we've otherwise successfully worked with the CNC head and with the laser head. And then need to ship us a new print head. I don't see any difference when I use the software. I think that what I'd have to do is set the work origin, which if I do now, we're going to lose. Who cares if we lose something, right? So I just clicked on set work origin and didn't do a darn thing, as far as I can tell. The only problem with this additive manufacturing is it takes so long to do the accretion. Scanning left, right, up, down for 3D printing, for carving. It's, in terms of time, it's not a very expedient way to work. On the other hand, in terms of precision, it's fantastic. So there's that trade-off between precision and time. If you're doing plastic rather than doing 3D printing, you'd rather do injection molding is much faster. Casting for metal is much faster. Carving for wood, using a 3-axis carver is not the best way to just make a carve. And so what is it doing now? It's coming to the very top of that piece. Okay, looks like it's completed the top. Now it's on to the next piece. So if I hit pause, it pauses. Hit play, it goes back to work, or no? It does. If I hit stop here, it doesn't stop. It does stop. No, it doesn't stop. Alright, so I hit pause and then stop. Now it stops. If I turn off the laser power, it doesn't seem to do anything. And if I hit disconnect, is it going to go back to home? We don't know. All right, lots to learn. If I hit start again, it starts at the bottom again. Okay. So don't ever hit stop and expect to continue. That you can't do. I think if you go to edit, you could say, no, you can't. I thought maybe you could like take part of this away, but no. Oh shoot, now I just messed up the thing. Okay, well, I think that's it. That's it for now, right? The only other thing is to pull this thing out. How do you just shut it down or recenter it? Disconnect. Control. Send this thing home. Is there a way to send it home? Calibration. Oh. Control settings. Oh. There's no way to send it home. Yep. I don't know, just turn it off. Oh yes, home. Thank you. How would you find that?
I went to set work origin home.
Ah, okay. All right, we'll let it go home and then we'll turn it off.
Yeah.
So that's the Snapmaker laser that we're working with. And the only other thing I want to see is if you take this board off, it did not etch it all the way through. Like you could not punch this out.
Mm-hmm.
This is just making designs. So it's supposed to be, we did not set it, maybe that's because we didn't set it to 100. I guess the next thing to work on in this is how deep of a cut to do. I think it was set to 6% and we never changed it. Because that ain't going to come apart. All right, this way. Yeah. All right, that's it for now, everybody. Bye-bye.